Welcome if this your first time on the channel. Today we talking Michael Eric Dyson. He got a crazy take that then went viral about Kendrick and Drake. And he's saying Kendrick is trying to strip Drake of his black identity.
I'm pissed that Drake gets dismissed off the scene when he's been Drake for 15 years.
And I think he is off on this. I'm going to break it down. We're going to listen to the audio. Make sure you subscribe if this your first time. Click that like button. That's how they push the video. Click that hype button. That's how they push the video. Now let's go.
Remember I worked at Fox Sports and there was a big argument between DeMarco Farr. You remember Brian Cox? Yeah, as DeMarco Farr walked away, we're like, are you cool? And he said to us, man, fuck him, he's half. And I was like, that exists? Like there was a whole
internal, oh yeah, Kendrick Lamar and Drake. Most people would acknowledge Kendrick as genius, but not Drake, right? Drake is commercially viable. He's a monster. He sells records. But is he as deep?
There's a genius to that, though.
Oh, come on, bro. You understand that. Drake is being indicted by Kendrick Lamar, implicitly and explicitly, not like us. The song is the song, whatever you think about it. But the notion itself, big distinction, us versus them. And they're trying to de-black Drake. Right? Oh, he's not really black because he grew up in Canada. I grew up in Compton. Bro, you're reducing blackness to Compton? Did you not know that black people fled America going to Canada to escape the iron tyranny of enslavement? And he ain't black. His daddy is black. He went to Memphis every summer. The Memphis Horns fill his music, the first albums Drake made. His grandmama babysat Aretha Franklin. Really? And his uncle is Larry Graham from Sly and the Family Stone. How much, what black card he got to show? And on his album, Damn, that won the Pulitzer Prize, I like to remind the acolytes of Mr. Lamar that he says, I ain't black, don't call me black no more, because he was into black Hebrew stuff. And Drake said, light skin, but still a dark N-word. So I'm saying, that's your God? So to me, yeah, that still exists. You're not as black as me. You're not as righteous as me. What did he say? You're not a colleague, you're a colonizer. What other figure in black music has ever been called a colonizer? Because he experiments widely with music. Kendrick, who put you on tour first? Oh, it was a guy named Drake. Yep. So this inability to not only have gratitude for where you came from, but to understand blackness is far deeper and more exhaustive than any one nationality or race or people can make.
That's true. And he said a lot of great stuff that was true about Drake, about Kendrick, but I think he missing the point. The thing that he is off is on, and I'm from the north side of St. Louis, so I know it's a few things where people are just taking the angle that works. Comedy, battle rap, whatever angle that gives me the advantage, I'm gonna take. So I'm in the hood, I'm light-skinned. Guess what type of jokes I got? Light-skinned jokes. My homie, Cedric, when we was younger, he dark-skinned. Guess what type of jokes he got? Dark-skinned jokes. If you tall, you got tall jokes. If you short, you got short jokes. If you had a gap in your mouth, you got the gap jokes. I used to have a gap. If your teeth were straight, they talked about that too.
So why is it that being outside of our geography, outside of our nationality, raises suspicions about Drake?
You from Africa, you get those jokes. You from Puerto Rico, you get, if you from America, you get that. Bruh, it's whatever angle. People just taking the angle, oh, this angle work, that's what I'm gonna stick on. With Kendrick, he already seen what angles worked from Drake and Pusha T. When Pusha T talked about the child thing, Kendrick made a song leading up to Drake having another kid. When Pusha T showed Drake in blackface, you're like, okay, that's definitely an angle I could take. So that's all it was. It was the angles. Now, in mainstream, yeah, you might be dark-skinned and that might benefit you in some ways with the woke mainstream crowd of Charlemagne the Gods and people like that. They, oh, yeah, dark-skinned brother, yeah. You might be light-skinned and it might benefit you. You're like, oh, yeah, light-skinned person, you know, maybe some non-urban folk might see that and be like, yeah, we're going to take that person and move them to the top. Yeah, in mainstream that does happen. And in the culture, it is a problem. But if you really from the culture, you know, with battle rap, with comedy, people gonna take whatever angle give them the advantage. And that's what he's missing.
Being Jewish and white and not so-called black. So was Barack Obama.
He think it's just everybody in the culture like, yeah, we gonna team up on Drake. It's like, no, dog, that ain't what happened. When I was listening, I'm rooting for Drake to win. But he lost. Not because he's light-skinned. It's other things that went against Drake, and Not Like Us was just the best record that came out the battle. And Drake had been doing some things in recent time that makes it easier for him to go at. Michael Eric Dyson actually spoke about this when he was on Bill Maher. And he talked about the Drake that we like. Let's listen to this.
Drake was dragged, as the young people say, for not only not doing the socially conscious stuff, but being a culture vulture, as if he was somehow outside the culture. That when he experimented with a whole bunch of different musical forms, he's somehow not legitimate. So his blackness was put into question. And plus, he's black and Jewish. And as a result of that, people began to question the authenticity. And I thought that was bullcrap. I'm Team Drake all day in this regard. We talk about the black, among black people and black scholars, we talk about the black Atlantic. It can't just be American-centered notions of blackness. Drake is Canadian and American. So you can't get mad at the fact that Brazil has a conception of blackness. So does Haiti. So does what happens in Honduras. So the point is, you can't just limit it here. And so I think people were trying to make Drake show a passport as to his legitimate blackness. He's black because he continues to exist in a world that sees him as a black man. He continues to talk about issues that are critical. Now, again, if you know, say Kendrick is, I don't know, Frantz Fanon and Drake is Jean Paul Sartre. He's talking about the existential stuff. He's talking about girlfriends. He's talking about what happens when you get up in the morning. He's talking about vulnerability. He got beat up early on because what is this goofy rapper? He's not a thug, because all black people aren't. He's not, you know, out here slinging around his authenticity because he killed somebody, because he doesn't. He is a decent human being, high intelligence, who likes to party, have fun, reflect upon his emotional life, and exist as a human being in a culture that often demonizes that. That's why I'm Team Drake.
What Michael Eric Dyson just described about Drake, the type of artist that Drake is at the end of this, that's the Drake we like. After Drake battled Meek Mill, he started to take a turn to where he had more gangster type records, Mob Ties, Knife Talk. You're like, hold on, this Drake doing this? So I think that's where he started taking a turn. But then he took another turn when he started hanging with Lil Yachty. My bad, Lil Yachty. He started hanging with Lil Yachty, and then he started painting his nails, wearing barrettes. And then this time, black community ain't going for that. Because we all know it's certain agendas to push emasculation on black men and black boys. Well, dog, I don't want one of the top rappers pushing that to us, where he's wearing barrettes. And this time, this ain't back in the day when white chicks and look, all that stuff that came out already. And now we looking like, hold on, are they pushing this stuff? Same thing with Young Thug when he hopped in the dress. You're like, why are you doing that? Are they pushing this on us? Yeah, they are. So now Drake is wearing barrettes and painting his nails. You're looking like, why are you doing that? So that's another example where he went down the wrong path, to where it's easy to come at him now. Because he got gangster records. You're like, hold on, Drake ain't a gangster. Then he painting his nails and wearing barrettes. We looking at that like, that's kind of weird. He pushing the agenda on us too. So that's why I think just mentally, a lot of people was looking at Drake like, yeah, we got to get him. He not like us. He not a part of the culture. I was looking at it from some rap, Kendrick hating stuff, but I also had that in the back of my mind too. Like, yeah, Drake have been doing some stuff that's been kind of fugazi. Like, Drake have been doing some stuff I don't agree with. But that's my take on why I think it was easier to come at Drake now, and Kendrick was able to implement his strategy way easier. Those two things played a role. And then, yeah, he got the angle of you light skinned, you half black, I'm gonna take that angle. That's just battle rap. That's what Michael Eric Dyson is missing. And I don't know where exactly Michael Eric Dyson grew up, but if you from the hood, you know whatever weakness you got, that's what they gonna talk about. Literally. Your shoes ugly, you ain't got the hey, that's what we talking about. That's just how it goes. But y'all let me know, what do y'all think about this? Do you think the only reason Kendrick won the battle against Drake was because he's light-skinned and, you know, he didn't come from America, even though his dad from America and he got ties in Memphis? Do y'all think it's what Michael Eric Dyson was saying? Put it down in the comments. As always, if this your first time here, click that like button, click that hype button. And when you see the sports stuff back here, my main page got sports. That's Chief McGraw. Y'all go check that out too. And as always, y'all be easy, be safe, peace.